I'm going to say something that's gonna piss some of you off. Your laziness is not a lack of discipline, it's a program and someone else has installed it into your mind. It took me just 21 days to rewire a pattern that I had for 23 years, and that's how I did that. 95% of what you do today, for example, how you react when someone doesn't text you back, or how you show up to that meeting, or if you go to the gym or you touch yourself out of it, none of that is really a decision. It's a program running in the background. And today I'm gonna show you how to find the program and actually rewrite it. If you ever said, I really know what I have to do but I never do it, this video is for you. Because the gap between knowing and doing is not a lack of discipline. It's more like a mind problem, and when you understand how your mind works, it's actually easier to close that gap. Before I go any further, if you're someone who's so tired of self-help that sounds nice but leads you anywhere, hit subscribe now, because during these weeks I'm going to break down for you how to rewire how you think, not just what you think about. Okay, so now let's get into it. For almost my entire life I keep on having this exact pattern. The second something got hard, my brain would find me an exit. Not lie, not laziness, just an exit. I was repeating myself, you're tired, you can start tomorrow, or this isn't really that important. But I believed it every single time. But you know what? It didn't feel like an excuse. It felt like the truth, but there's something I didn't know back then. Your subconscious mind runs about 95% of your daily behavior. Not your conscious thinking brain, but what lies underneath that. That part was built by repetition, not by logic. So if you've repeated to yourself, this is an art, quit enough times, then your brain doesn't even present you with the option of actually not quitting. It just quietly closes that door before you even notice that it actually existed. So the goal isn't try harder, because willpower is not the fix. Willpower is what you're using to fight a program that's stronger than a single moment of motivation. The fix is just finding the program and interrupting it enough times so that a new one gets built instead. And that's it. That's the whole game. I use a 3-step method that helps me every time I'm about to self-sabotage, and I call this method CAR, which stands for Catch, Interrupt and Rewire. So, first of all, let's talk about catch. You cannot change a pattern that you don't recognize, that you don't actually catch. Literally say in your head, here it is. That's it, don't judge it, don't fix it yet. Most people skip this step and then they wonder how come nothing actually changes for them. But you have to see the program before you can edit it. Now let's dive in the second part, in the phase of interruption. When you catch yourself in the moment of postponing, of procrastinating, just catch it and physically interrupt it. Stand up. Just say the sentence, say stop out loud instead of just thinking it. Change your physical position, change the room you're actually in. This sounds too simple to work, right? But your brain built this pattern by repetition in a specific physical state. Whether you were sitting, you were scrolling, you were avoiding eye contact with the task, patterns grip. And now, this is the part that everyone skips. You immediately replace it with a tiny action. After you interrupt the pattern, you immediately replace it with the tiniest action. You don't gotta do the whole thing, just something very small already helps you because it takes you out of that loop. And of course, now we're diving into the third part, which is rewire. If your program says, this is too hard to do, you can quit, your rewiring brain would say, you don't have to do the whole thing perfectly. Just do 2 minutes of it. Because your subconscious doesn't get rewired by information, but It gets rewired thanks to repeated experience. Every time you catch, interrupt, and perform some very tiny action, you're not using your willpower. You're literally overriding the program one step at a time. So I put in action this specific program for 21 days straight because my pattern, the pattern that I had to break was I was always talking me out of posting content because it never felt perfect, it never felt ready. I was constantly thinking it's not ready yet, I can do much better, so I was just not posting, I just was avoiding the most important part. I even bought my camera, all the accessories I needed to film, a new laptop, and then I was like, okay, it's good but it's never enough, I can do much better, and I was never posting as a result. Every time that thought showed up, I decided to actually catch it. I decided every single time to do something about it. So for instance, I decided to interrupt it by saying out loud something like, there it is, here we go again. And then I decided to rewire. So what did it mean for me to actually rewire? To simply post a small piece of content. Very easy, very simple, easy to do, and you're out of that mindset, you're out of that program, and you're writing a new program, a much better one, a much more functional one for yourself. By day 21, this thought sometimes was still showing up, but it did not have any power over me, any grip over me anymore. So here's your homework for this week. Pick just one place where you know that you talk yourself out of things. Just one habit, one place, one experience, one situation, okay? And just do the catch step, so the first step of this method, for 7 days straight. This is how it actually starts working, how it actually starts changing, not by thinking that you will need to change everything at once, because that feeling will just overwhelm you and bring you again in that loop. Just start to notice and to see the program that's running in your mind. This is the first step, a very crucial step, in order to rewrite it, in order to install a completely new program in your mind that will make sure that you can reach your highest potential and become the best version of yourself. Comment catch down below and write down also one pattern that you'll start noticing beginning this week. I really want to see you follow through. Subscribe and turn on your notification, because next week I'm gonna break down how to actually implement the second step of this guide, which is interrupt. I will be going much more in depth, so you don't want to miss out on that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye, I appreciate you.